Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Let's continue with the friendship series. It's going to be this time for B2B members, Minhyuk and Changsub. So thank you so much to the person that made this request. They actually made it a few weeks ago, I believe, but I had it on my list actually. But the last series ended and I couldn't do it. So now it's their turn. So thank you for being patient. So let's talk a bit about Minhyuk and Changsub astrological energies. Minhyuk is a sun in Sagittarius and his moon is in Aries. And Changsub, he is a Pisces sun with a moon in Leo. So even though their energies are very different because Minhyuk's sun is in a fire sign and Changsub is in a water sign, so he's more emotional. They both have in common to have a water moons. It means that their emotional world is ruled by this energy of being very spontaneous and also of being very probably a bit more courageous about showing how they really feel. So and also a bit more transparent, so I think that this could add a bit more of willingness, to speak their minds, to be able to have sincere bonds with people, So let's start with Minhyuk's side, that I place him on the left and I place Changsub on the right. So in Minhyuk's side, he got the Prince of Swords, he got the card of the Temperance, and he got the Prince of Pentacles. So as we can see here with this, or at least what I can sense here from this princess that I see here, it's all about this energy of moving forward. Since Minhyuk has a lot of fire elements, also it could add to this very volatile temper, in the sense that probably he does, just like he enters in conversations or in engagement with people, he just easily moves on. For him, it's all about probably collecting experiences and learning from them and then move on. Probably since he is a Sagittarius, he must have this tendency of always needing to be motivated or entertained. So probably if we start here with the Prince of Swords, probably his relationship with Changsub, Minhyuk is very outspoken about how he feels, because the prince, if you can see the figures of the prince here on the screen, the prince in this deck you can see them all in this sort of, like, riding these sort of chariots, that the chariots are taking them somewhere. So it's like they are owning their element, they are owning their speed and their need to move forward, and they are going towards, it's like nothing can stop them. So, and it's interesting that in the middle we have the Temperance card. The Temperance card is all about you going through a process of healing. You going through a process when you sort of do like like a combination of like you do like a sort of review about all the good things and the bad things that you had put in a certain experience. Probably here is talking about how Minhyuk is slowly maturing. I know that he is not he's not in his 20s. It's not that he's a teenager. But I think that Minhyuk, with that moon in Aries of him, probably he's someone that he will always have this sort of juvenile or very teenage-like kind of perception of life. It's like he's very adventurous. He's very outgoing, you know, he just goes for the adventure. He's very like, he loves movement, you know, he loves novelty, he loves to experience new things. So probably for him, relationships are just like that, you know, you interact, you share a moment, and then you move on, you know. So probably he's now learning that he needs to have more relationships or connections of quality. You know, not so much quantity, but more about quality. Because I think that he's also like, this is why I think that he's maturing. Because he is somehow being like some kind of alchemist in his life. You know, he's like thinking back about his decisions, because from all the princesses here that I see, that it seems like his energy is really fast to make decisions, you know, to jump into conclusions. So he's the kind of person that once he sets his mind to something, he will not stop until he gets it. And probably he is like that in relationships, you know, because we have here the Prince of Swords, that is the first card. So what is the first move that he does in relationships, or at least in his relationship with Changsub, is the communication. So probably he's someone that he's very straightforward about how he feels, and it's like he defends his point of view. And maybe for Changsub, that he is a much more emotional person. For him, it's like, oh, wow, like, you are coming to me with all this information, and then you go and like, I don't know what to think about our connection. You know, definitely, I think that also Minhyuk, I don't know why, but I feel like he had been running away from something, you know, because I see all these chariots, I see all these knights. So definitely he's in a self-defense mode, because somehow there's something from the past that he feels really regretful. So probably there were a lot of relationships that were that didn't work out, or that it left a bad impression of him. So now he's thinking like, oh, I need to build like better relationships, you know. And I think that Changsub is one of these people that he wants to build something new with. And the really lovely thing here is that the last prince is the Prince of Pentacles. So the Pentacles is all about you making the effort, and you knowing that it's going to take time, and you knowing that it's not going to be easy, and you knowing that you have to be consistent. You know that you cannot just go around like moving super fast through people's lives and be like, oh yes, we're really close. Like, no, you need to stop. You need to pace yourself to the other person's rhythm. You know, so probably for him to get a better understanding of Changsung's feelings, or the way he thinks, or the way he perceives the relationship as well. What the cards are saying here for Minhyuk is that Minhyuk needs to slow down. Minhyuk needs to be more gentle. He needs to be more patient with Chansung, because even though Chansung, I can see here from his side that he is the kind of person that definitely he has a lot of feelings, because he is emotional, but he's not that fast moving as Minhyuk. You know, probably Minhyuk is very hyperactive, or he is like it seems like he's always like next to the like ready to the next chapter, you know, ready to jump into the next chapter. So you are like, okay, are you present here? Like, are we talking? Are we having a conversation? Like, are you paying attention to me, or are you just like being here with me to spend time, and then you're thinking about, I don't know, the next place you're going to hang out at, you know? So definitely Minhyuk had been learning that he needs to spend probably more time with Minhyuk, maybe doing activities and thinking more about what Changsub actually would like to do, or what will make him feel more comfortable. Because I think that also Changsub is not the same person that they started. I think that this has to do, I know they have a lot of members that are absent, others are in the military or are about to get out of the military service. So they went through a lot of transformation through the years because of all the absences. So it's not easy, you know, so this is why I understand Minhyuk's energy. You know, he's feeling anxious about something. So this is why he wants to connect with people, but not so deep. You know, like I want to connect with people, but I don't want to get to that. I don't want them to real see me, because what if they real see me and they don't like who I am? You know, he is a bit insecure in that sense, even though with this fire element in him, you know, him being a Sagittarius and him being a moon in Aries, it's like he does give you this impression that he is a warrior in life, and probably he does behave like one. He does behave like a warrior. You know, he's someone that he always accomplishes something. You know, he's probably like really good at finishing a race. You know, he's really good at managing or making the most out of his energy. But probably when it comes to heart-to-heart conversations, like to really really slow down a bit. You know, I think that this is what actually Changsub's energy is asking of him, you know, to let's meet, you know, do not avoid me, like why are you in such a hurry or something like that. Because Changsub is very intuitive, so he knows it. So Changsub, he got the Prince of Cups and the Three of Wands and the Eight of Pentacles. So yes, Changsub is also willing to build something new. But starting off, we have the Prince of Cups, and I don't know if you can actually see the difference between the image of the Prince of Cups, that is the image that is underneath Changsub's name. The Prince of Cups, it's a card that not only talks about you opening, you giving like an invitation to love, and you giving that cup of love. You can see how this person is lifting their cup to the air. You know, he's like very openly sharing his emotions, you know, and this card is really beautiful because it talks about someone that probably gives love from a very compassionate and a very selfless way. And it's like he first offers you his love and his understanding, and then he sits down with you and he has this sort of connection with you, where he gets really honest with you, and where you can also see how passionate he is, because let's not forget that even though he is a Pisces, his moon is in Leo. So when it comes to emotions, he's going to also be very straightforward about what he wants, what he needs, and if you haven't paid attention to him or haven't spent quality time with him, he's going to tell you. He's going to call you off. He's going to tell you, okay, you didn't do this and this and this for me. Because he does actually get offended when he doesn't get the attention that he believes that he deserves. Because actually he's very loving. I think that he has a lot of love for Minhyuk. He has a lot of love. But you can see the difference between, here I think that you cannot actually see them. I hope that when I get my camera, guys, after I can buy it, actually I'm saving for it, I can record and show you up close of each card so you can actually see better what I'm saying. In Minhyuk's side, the princess that are in the spread are the princess are, like I mentioned, in a career and managing a chariot, and they are like looking at the road. You know, they are looking at the road. They are like a bit not so much the last card that is the Prince of Pentacles, But the Prince of Swords, the first one, is someone that is like, it has a sword in their hand and it's like battling the skies, it seems. It's like fighting with the clouds or something like that. He's like removing all kind of misunderstanding. He's like moving really fast, because this is the quality of the wind and the swords, to be very sharp, to remove all misunderstandings, and to open a communication. But they do it from a very like fast and also a bit aggressive body language. In the case of the Prince of Cups that we see here, that it's Changsub's side, we see this character holding the cup, being like, okay, holding it to the skies, being like, receive it whenever you are ready to receive my love. Like there's no rush here. Like I will be holding my cup until you are ready to receive it, until you are ready to acknowledge that I'm here. So this talks about compassion. This is very Pisces also. This is very Pisces. But when you can be a Pisces, it's actually not get any kind of these cards, or actually, because we have different kind of Pisces. But in the case of Changsub, I think he's a bit much more matured emotionally, and maybe because he is emotional, for him, instead of attacking or instead of being on the defensive, he's waiting patiently. He's like, okay, I know that Minhyuk is going to come to talk to me, so I will be waiting patiently for him, and I will not judge him. I will not get because like I mentioned, guys, this what I'm describing here is a dynamic of two people. Is what their energy, like how they mirror each other. What one gives, what the other takes. And it's not that they don't like each other. It's not that they don't get each other. It's not that one is better than the other. Because to have a relationship, a connection with someone, you have to consider both sides. This is what I take my time to explain first one side and then to explain the other. So you can see in each other's differences how this bond works. Because it's the same as if you would like me to do a reading about you and your best friend. Of course, if you had like some difficult times with your best friend, probably you will remember the one that hurt you the most, or the one that actually caught your attention the most. And probably for your best friend's side, it's going to be totally different. She or he are going to tell me a different story about what happened. Because this is relationships. When it's not who is right, or it's not who is better than the other. This is why I ask of people that request these readings, and people that thankfully I know that there are a lot of people that actually know how I work, and they resonate with my reading because they know how to listen and interpret. And this is what I want. I don't want anyone to take sides, but we are talking about two different people here. So it's normal that their views about each other are going to be different. So yes. Then we have the Free of Wands, that that I was thinking about this, about how he's so passionate once he makes like a connection with Minhyuk, once they sit down to talk. And he's like, okay, I want this and this from you. I want us to see each other more. I want us to do more things together. Probably he does demands a lot of things out of me. Like, oh, you didn't call me here, or you didn't pay attention to what I say. Like a very deep attitude. I love it. This is very Moon in Leo attitude, actually. I love it. He also has a temper. Changsub has a temper. Don't be fooled by, oh, he's a Pisces, he's so sweet, he's so romantic. Changsub has a temper, and he has a very peculiar personality as well. So it's not, no one here has a bigger personality. No, they both, in their differences, are equally strong. And they know their worth. It's just that, like I mentioned, Minhyuk energy is probably most like he moves like faster, he moves faster. Then we have the Eight of Pentacles. That, yes, the Eight of Pentacles actually is like is mirroring the last card of Minhyuk, that Minhyuk got the Prince of Pentacles, that is about making the effort. And the Eight of Pentacles of Changsub is talking about how he's ready to wait for things to develop when it's time. When you say, oh, you reap what you sow. Yes, in relationships as well. It's not enough only to show up, or it's not enough only to say, oh, I made the effort, like I gave you a call. No, relationships need more nutrition. Relationships, and idols learn about this too. They are not superhumans, that they just, are born with wisdom already, They also learn with time, and with all those things that they experienced. They learned to actually acknowledge that, okay, the people that are here is the people that is meant to be here today. It's the people that we have here today. But I think that they had a lot of losses when it comes to emotional. This is why there's a sense of, like, I don't want to get too close to you because I feel like I will cry or something like that, So they are also like coming to a point in their lives where they have to make decisions for themselves and to themselves about what they want for themselves, in an intimate way, what I mean. So it's normal that they probably, I don't know, they don't agree so much on certain things, or they do not have the same point of view, or they spend more time doing this and the other does the other activity. It's because they are like in this period of individualization, and this, unfortunately, I think that when you spend almost all your young years like working in a team, for you to learn to nurture this individualization, it's really hard to do it. It's like, oh, like, what am I, or what do I do without my members? Who am I? It's like you're always looking for the group, because the group somehow defines you. But life also asks of you to be independent, in the sense of you also doing the research, you also doing the searching, the journey of, okay, what do you want as an individual? Who are you as an individual? And I think that they are going through this, and they had been going through this for a while, actually. So let's go with the cards that came out as an overall. And they got the Nine of Swords, the Star card, and the Six of Cups. So yes, definitely a lot of like letting go of inner fears, letting go of these guys have been under a lot of stress. I don't know if it is because of this year, because of being in Kingdom, because of things from that happened to their group. I don't know. Maybe the fans can actually give me some feedback about this, because it seems like they had a lot of years, a lot of nights without sleeping, a lot of overthinking, a lot of mental like exhaustion. When you are exhausted, like you just cannot rest because your mind, there's a lot of worries here. There's a lot of worry. They worry about something, and I don't know what is it, but they do, and this affects the way they interact with each other and probably with the other members as well. But we have the Star card, and it means that they are where they belong to be. It's whatever happens to them in their careers or in their personal lives, they are guided by some kind of divine influence. I don't know if it's a guardian angel, I don't know if it's some kind of like, but a very divine force that is the one that actually make them meet each other, come into each other's life, and at the same time is the one force that is keeping them together. So I think that it seems like it was written that they had to meet, you know, and their souls are also learning a lot from like being with each other. And then next to the Six of Cups, I think that actually it's going to be a period of healing for them once they can restore the past. There's something about them wanting to go back to the way things used to be. So I don't know if maybe they are missing someone, they are being nostalgic about some member not being with them, or they are waiting for some member to come back so they can feel whole again. Because I feel like at least Minhyuk and Changsub have been feeling this year, and probably the last year as well. They had a lot of worries, because I don't know if they were pressured to take to do like a lot of like make decisions without the other members, so they were a bit like worried, you know, about like, oh, okay, is this correct to take this initiative or to agree to do this without the other members present, you know? So there was like, okay, are we doing the right thing or not? What are we getting ourselves into, you know? So I think that once the majority of the members are together, they are going to feel at home again. I feel like they definitely are missing the other members. They feel like they are not completed if the other members are not around. So yes, guys, this is all I have for B2B, Minhyuk and Changsub. So I would appreciate your feedback if you're fans of them. So I always read you. And so I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.